This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
Happy Wednesday, folks. It's great to be back here again. And it is the middle of the week, and we are heading, as I always say, towards the weekend, Pat. I know a lot of folks are looking forward to it.
And I know that I am. This will be the weekend before Turkey Day.
Turkey Day it is.
Yep, so there'll be a lot that has to be done. I'm excited. My brother is coming in from California to share a meal with us. And I think I had mentioned we're going to be renting a big inn that we'll all be hanging out in and playing trivia games at night.
Beautiful.
And really fun because we've got every age from, like 3-year-olds right on up to the most senior of the family members, and it's just really fun, a great time to get together as a family. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is a great time. It's a great time to reconnect and just count your blessings.
Yes,
and, enjoy
totally.
time.
And Sarah, speaking of that, this is an interesting subject. I would love to hear this, the most and least affordable places to live. I love hearing about that from state to state.
Well, we're looking at the affordable cities, and Pittsburgh, Detroit, St. Louis, Minneapolis, and Atlanta are listed as the most affordable. And with our sister station here from Salem, we have Miami as one of the most expensive. San Diego, San Francisco is listed on the top of the list at 40, literally one of the highest cities to live in. Miami falls at number 5.
Wow.
Boston wasn't mentioned.
Boston wasn't mentioned. How do you like that? Because I think Boston used to be right up there with like California.
It is. I mean, it is an expensive city to live in, and I think that the reason I bring this up is because whether it's an affordable city or not, we also have great options for very low down payment structures. So sometimes it's difficult to come up with that 20% down program where you have to come up with $50,000. And my view is this: the first 7 years of your mortgage, you're paying into the interest, not the principal. And everyone has a different view. I've been in finance for so many years and literally would encourage folks to always have money in hand and be liquid. So to put in like 20% down is not necessarily the best plan when you're buying a home. You can always do a 3.5% down plan. It doesn't mean anything other than the fact that you can at least have that additional money that you are not putting towards your down payment work for you, whether you're putting it towards your retirement or other investments, as well as emergency funds. So it is important for you to have that emergency fund available.
For sure. And the emergency fund, we've talked about it before. Sarah, you said 6 months or a whole year's worth of...
I mean, a year would be perfect, Pat, if we were in a perfect world. But if you can at least have anywhere from 6 months to 8 months, it's critical because you want to be prepared for those emergencies. What we're seeing here is most Americans have only about $800 in savings, if that. A lot of folks, at least 70%, are looking at their mortgage payment as a way to deal with any emergencies that come up. So they end up missing that mortgage payment and use that mortgage payment for any medical emergencies or anything that may arise. And I want people to understand that you have worked really hard and done so much towards buying that home and paying that mortgage payment diligently, whether it's for a year or 10 years, that the last thing you ever want to do is miss a mortgage payment, because if you're at that point, that is the first bill you pay. And then you call me so that we can at least make sure that you're not going to be in a place where you're going to lose your house, or you cannot take money out of your house. You cannot take cash out of your house to get rid of the other bills or the other debt that you have. But if you're late on that mortgage within the last 12 months, even once, then lenders are not willing to work with you to get you refinanced.
And I know you've said that many times. So, I mean, it's good to be able to pay all your bills, but if you're finding yourself that tight, keep paying your mortgage and give Sarah a call. And in all likelihood, you can do a refi and take some cash out, lower your monthly payments, maybe even reduce the length of your mortgage. I mean, there's all sorts of wonderful stuff that can happen when you're looking at money at 3 and 4% of being able to borrow it. I mean, that is extremely low interest rates.
It is. And the thing, Pat, is that there's always room to correct your situation. So if, for example, you do have medical bills, or let's say you do have other items that may be liens or judgments and you're not sure how you're going to pay those amounts off, that's also where you can come, contact me and have that conversation, because these are things that are coming up in the new year, which is really important. One is with the holidays, the expenses go up. So if you're charging the credit cards, that's going to be something you're going to have to deal with in the new year. Or you can actually correct it today. You can actually get cash, pay off the debt, start the new year without any issues. You're going to have to deal with your taxes. So if you're already in a situation where you owe money towards your tax person, to the IRS, then you can look at refinancing now with your mortgage and getting cash and paying that off. The other thing that is huge for homeowners as well right now is your escrowed amounts. If your taxes and insurance are included with your mortgage payment, sometimes there's not enough money put aside. So you may be getting a letter in the next 2 months saying you are short with your taxes and insurance for the property. Therefore, you need to come up with $3,000. So again, there's another preventative measure where you can chat with me and find out solutions how you can get cash out of your home and deal with that today and have peace of mind in the new year.
Because most of us, if we get an unexpected bill of $3,000, that can be really very disconcerting. Most of us don't have that kind of surplus cash to be able to work that out without it being a little bit of pain.
Right. And I mean, Pat, these are all very fixable. And as a homeowner, you have to be prepared for things that do occur. So for anybody who owns a home and is faced with maybe possible expenses, and there's going to be expenses in the holidays or with your home or things that you want to do, it is really a great time to evaluate and see what is going on with your current interest rate on that mortgage note. At least take a peek. Do yourself a favor. We're busy clipping coupons and saving money on milk and eggs, and that certainly is great, but it's nothing like saving $100,000 in interest on that mortgage or getting cash so that you can pay off your existing debt. So very simple savings, nothing here that's complicated. And again, a great time to just ask the question and call me here. Ask for Sarah. The number here, 1-800-662-9550.
And there's that KISS method again, Sarah. I love that. Keep it simple savings. You coined that, Sarah, and it does work so well. I do have one more question before I think we have a little bit more time, but
right.
How difficult is it to get a mortgage after you've had some adverse credit issues, Sarah?
I think that one of the things that people are unaware of is that as long as you've been current on the mortgage for the last 12 months, everything else is fixable. So we're right now at 580 scores, and that's considered pretty low.
Yeah.
So within that spectrum of 580 to 800 scores, whether you have perfect scores or scores that are average or below average, we can fix anything as long as you're willing to pick up the phone and have that conversation with me. So if your mortgage is current for the last 12 months, you've made your payments on time, and of course you haven't gone into a loan modification, then we are able to help you. And that's all about keeping it simple savings and calling me here at 1-800-662-9550.
I love that. Keep it simple savings.
So do I. I think that it is very simple, Pat. It's just that there's just a lot of noise out there and a lot of bad information that keeps it from being simple.
There sure are. And Marita's telling me it's time. So just want to remind folks, if you want to see some very positive testimonies, go to Mosen Mortgage Facebook, and you can listen to the people firsthand that have had their whole world so improved financially thanks to Mosen Mortgage. And you can call them 24/7. The free phone call is answered live, 1-800-662-9550.
Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.